Every agent is asking whether AI is coming for their job. Carrie McCormick thinks that's the wrong question. Today, she tells us the right one. Stay tuned. This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Real Geeks. How many homes are you going to sell this year? Do you have the right tools? Is your website turning soft leads into interested buyers? Are you spending money on leads that aren't converting? Well, Real Geeks is your solution. Find out why agents across the country choose Real Geeks as their technology partner. Real Geeks was created by an agent for agents. They pride themselves on delivering a sales and marketing solution so that you can easily generate more business. Their agent websites are fast and built for lead conversion with a smooth search experience for your visitors. Real Geeks also includes an easy-to-use agent CRM. So once a lead signs up on your website, you can track their interest and have great follow-up conversations. Real Geeks is loaded with a ton of marketing tools to nurture your leads and increase brand awareness. Visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod and find out why realtors come to Real Geeks to generate more business. Again, visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod. And now, onto our show. Today's episode is brought to you by Corded.io. Are you looking for agents to join your brokerage or team? Now, as a real estate recruiter, I can tell you the answer is always yes. But most agents aren't looking to move right now. So how do you know who to contact? Well, what if I were to tell you there's a recruiting and retention tool powered by artificial intelligence that shows you exactly which agents in your local market are looking to leave their brokerage right now and which agents at your own firm are also looking to leave you? Now, I've been recruiting realtors for 15 years and I've hired over 2,000 agents. I can tell you with no exaggeration, this is the tool I've been waiting for. Corded's AI looks for trends across dozens of variables for each agent in your market and shows you which agents they believe are likely to move. Not only does it do that, but Corded's AI went and visited my recruiting website and read everything I offer. So now when I'm recruiting, Corded's AI tells me exactly what to say based on that agent's needs and what my brokerage can offer. It even writes emails for me. I've never seen anything like it, and I use it every single day. Now, if you are looking to grow your brokerage, Corded.io is the best tool out there. Visit Corded.io to schedule a demo. Again, that's Corded.io. And now, onto the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real. This is the largest podcast made by real estate agents and also for real estate agents. My name's DJ Paris. I'm your guide and host through the show. And today, my friend and collaborator, and she has been on our show for almost since the very beginning. We're grateful to have her. Comes on every single month. Her name is Carrie McCormick from the Carrie McCormick Group here in Chicago. She's with at Properties Christie's International. And let me tell you a little bit about her in case you're new to the show. She is a top producing real estate agent and team or a group here in the Chicagoland area. She specializes in luxury and also other types of properties as well. She's been in the business well over 20 years, averages hundreds of millions of dollars and hundreds of sales that she does, every single year. She's one of the top 0.001% of agents in Chicago out of 43,000 agents. She's almost always in like number 1, 2, or 3. So we are so grateful to have her. Carrie, welcome. Oh, and let's follow her on Instagram, Carrie McCormick Real Estate. And I will have a link to that in the show notes. She does all of her own social media. So also check her out and see what really great realtor social media looks like. Carrie, welcome.
Thank you. I will say I have to give credit to my videographer. He is a dream. He's amazing. He makes me look good. So we got to give him a little credit.
Well, we will. So cheers to Carrie's videographer. But we should say that you are the mastermind behind your social media channel. You are doing a lot of the strategy and figuring out what to post. And it is a remarkable channel with a lot of influence. And I know how much time and effort you put into it. So
I love it. I love it.
It's really mostly you, but yes, you do have some great help for editing. All right. What do we want to talk about today?
So, big topic. I know AI is all the rage right now, and we talk about it every day. But the one thing I want to talk about, which I think is important, is AI isn't replacing real estate agents; it's replacing average marketing. So, I'm going to give you a mouthful, so just stop me if you have any questions as I go through here. So, the one question though that I hear everywhere, so from if I'm in a conference, listing appointments, industry panels, is the question is this: is AI going to replace real estate agents, right? And I actually think that that's the wrong question. I think the better question here is how is AI changing the luxury real estate market? Because
Mm,
that's where where I think there's the biggest impact. And I do also already think that it's already changed our luxury real estate market. So we're witnessing one of the biggest transformations since the internet, right? So think about, for those of my age, you remember back when the internet started coming into our world, and we thought, everything was changing, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Well, we're going through that again right now. So AI is changing it, and it's changing how buyers search for properties. It's how sellers choose a real estate agent, and then how homes are being marketed, and even who's buying those homes. So AI is really changing the way consumers behave with real estate. So we need to pay close attention to it.
yeah,
So,
I wanted to say real quickly that I think you're right. I think search, we are going to look back and go, remember when we used to type in our searches into Google, and we are just going to be talking to our phones. And I'm curious even how important individual websites, I don't mean websites for agents. I think that is important, but I
yeah.
mean, and I love Zillow. This is not a slight towards Zillow or Redfin or any of the portals,
Hmm.
realtor.com, et cetera. I don't know how useful, I don't know how, sorry, they are useful. I don't know how important they're going to be going forward when somebody can just ask the exact question right into their AI of choice. So
Well, I mean, that's such a good point. And I was going to say is that I think the Google search has changed forever. I
mm,
really do. I think 5 years
absolutely.
ago, or maybe even 2 years ago, like you were saying, people typed in Lincoln Park homes for sale,
Yep.
right? That was a Google search.
A very
Today,
popular Google search, by the
very
way.
popular one,
Yeah.
right? But today they're asking ChatGPT or any of the LLMs, Google AI, questions like, "What is the best neighborhood in Chicago?"
Yeah.
Um, I want to, and then they go into more details, right? I want walkability. I want top schools. I want great restaurants. I want a modern home. Whatever it is, they're not just searching for a listing anymore. They're searching for a lifestyle, right? So
Yeah.
they're putting in all of that information. And of course, chat's going to, or any LLM is going to give them results. And then they're searching for trusted expertise to that, right? So that search engine or that LLM will narrow it down, but now they need that expertise. And that changes everything for real estate marketing, your SEO, your AEO, your GEO, your AI search, your personal branding, because the next thing that they're going to want to look and ask chat is, who's the best agent for this,
Yeah.
right? So once they narrow down their lifestyle, they want their lifestyle to be matched with a real estate agent that also has their type of goals and represents those type of properties. So I think AI is going to become like our personal branding expert. And also, if you think about chat, a lot of agents use it to write the descriptions, which now we can tell when chat writes a
Yeah.
description.
Please don't do that.
It's like the same words, that are used, and the hyphens and everything. It's getting a little too generic, I would say. But that is obviously a popular use for AI, and then automating marketing as well. But if you look at AI from, again, as a real estate agent, we're thinking, how can it help us with our daily tasks? And again, amazing tools, amazing time savers that AI is doing. But look at it a little differently. Look at the bigger story of what AI is doing. It's creating so much wealth in our market. So AI founders, executives, engineers, VCs, investors, entrepreneurs, there's this whole new generation of high net worth buyers that are utilizing creating AI, and those buyers are purchasing homes, right? In the last 2 weeks here in Chicago, I've sold probably $20 million of real estate to people in the AI sector.
No kidding. Wow. Because we don't even think of Chicago necessarily as a AI hub. I mean, maybe we have data centers here or whatever, but again, people can work from wherever. So why wouldn't they be here in Chicago? Of course.
Right. So they're young, they're smart, obviously. They've got this whole new net worth and they're investing in their lives. They're investing in their lifestyles
Hmm.
for, they want investment properties, second homes. I call them trophy properties, right? They may just buy something because they want to put their money in a hard asset. So for us here in Chicago, our luxury real estate market is uniquely positioned because buyers can acquire an architecturally significant home at a fraction of the price versus, let's say, New York, Miami, Los Angeles.
Ah,
We are
yes.
such an incredible market value in the market. And I will say, and not just because I love my city, Chicago, but I do think that our architecture here, our housing, our lakefront, we've got one of the best cities in the world. And I think we are capturing the attention of a lot of wealthy, these young, high tech, wealthy individuals.
And we have a beach that runs the entire length of our city, as well as most of the suburbs, at least along the shore. It is like, what other city has that that's not on the coast? Like that's amazing.
I know. And again, with affordable pricing, we have incredible nightlife here. Obviously, our restaurants are top notch, our shopping. I mean, we truly have it all here in Chicago. So, we are a city of growth. So I would encourage, anyone that's, not here in Chicago, that's outside of Chicago to really focus in on our market because we are seeing a high growth here, especially if you have clients that want to invest in a great market.
I love
Um,
I love the lifestyle idea. I think that
yeah.
really is playing matchmaker. I think that really is the future for a lot of agents,
Mhm.
is to, because the person can find the property, right? They don't need us for that. They don't even really need us as much for the negotiation strategy, although that's great when people have great experience. Agents who are very, very proficient at that are going to be helpful. But AI is going to solve for that too. Like, that is not going to be so important anymore. But what I think will be really important, in my opinion, is lifestyle matching.
Yeah.
And that maybe sounds like a lesser kind of, I don't mean in any sort of pejorative way. I think that is, I remember when I first moved to the city 25 years ago, and I was looking at a place I wasn't from here. I didn't know the city. And we found this place that was in my price range. It was an apartment, and it was perfect, except the location wasn't good, but I didn't know that. So
Right.
thankfully, my mom, who was with me, who does know the city because she grew up
Right.
in the area, she was like, "You don't want to live in this area. You want to live somewhere where you can walk to the things that you want." Now,
Mhm.
knowing me, not that everybody needs that, but as a 22-year-old kid, like, or 23-year-old kid, like, I probably did need that. I did need that. And so we ended up in Lakeview, which made a lot more sense than the
Right.
neighborhood I was looking at. But if my mom hadn't have been there, I would have picked an area just because I thought the apartment was the entire thing. Same thing
Right.
with houses. It's all the same. And I think lifestyle matching is so critical. And agents can really start making, this is great content to make on social right now, is, hey, if you're this kind of person, here are some neighborhoods for you to consider. And here's why. And here's what it looks like at night. And yeah.
I like that idea. So, I mean, actually, that brings up a good topic of luxury buyers because they are purchasing lifestyle over square footage right now, and I do think that's the value that we as brokers can bring to them. They do value architecture. Wellness has become a very important topic of home wellness centers, infrared, cold plunges, the air that you breathe. All of that has become very important. Privacy is another hot topic right now, outdoor living, home offices, walkability. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but it is about the luxury lifestyle. And, home needs to create an emotional connection to people. So those homes that are done very well are commanding premium prices. One thing that you said, DJ, which I just want to go back to, you mentioned, like pricing of properties and consumers, through AI or through any searches, they kind of know the market, right? Because everything is public. But what I do think that local real estate agent, what we bring value is we know these comps inside and out. So for example, AI can search, let's just say five of the closest homes that have closed, but they don't know, AI doesn't know, again, if there's a telephone pole behind one of the properties. They
Yes.
don't
One.
know, if
Yes.
there was, mold in the basement and that's why it was sold at a discount. There's a lot more obviously that that goes into pricing in the market than just the data. So I think again, that's step one that consumers can see is yes, it's data. It's out there for everyone to see. But we as the experts in the market, we know why. We know the story. We know, and it's important to know the story of the homes.
And I was chatting with a luxury agent in the Keys where she doesn't even meet almost any of her clients because they are from other places. They buy their second, their third, whatever home. These are high net worth individuals. And she gave this same example was AI told a client of hers to or client of someone else's to bid on one of her properties and offer uh, 1.8 million
Mhm.
because that's what it was worth. Except she's like, it wasn't worth that because there was a mobile home right next to it. But AI doesn't know that. So AI doesn't take into effect like maybe the $7 million property doesn't, that affects somebody's lifestyle possibly, or
Right.
at least what they might want. So I imagine you have you probably ask a lot of lifestyle questions now for your buyer clients.
Absolutely. And so I do think that the future of a real estate agent is going to change of, how we perform. I think AI will definitely replace a lot of the average
Yeah.
marketing and
Mhm.
processes and systems, but it will never replace a trusted advisor. So think about this, when information becomes free, judgment becomes priceless. And agents who thrive as educators, local market experts, skilled negotiators, relationship builders. Trust is going to be the new currency in real estate because buyers and sellers want to trust the person that they are working with. And
And
that's going
and
to be
they need a person. I mean, even when I bought the place I'm in now, and I'm in this business, I'm not a practicing agent, but I work with agents all day long, and I know lots of agents like yourself, of course. I was like in the fetal position the night before, like I am making this horrible mistake. This is and it ended up not being that way, but that's just a natural. When you're spending a lot of money, maybe the largest financial purchase or sale of your life, and it's a good chunk of your net worth, and it's scary. And yes, AI is good for helping, some of the data in the background, but I needed somebody, and I was acted as my own agent, so I didn't have this, but I needed somebody to really put their arms around me and say, it's going to be okay. This is not a bad decision. Um,
right.
but and we need human beings for that, and we need somebody who understands the market and also understands the emotional toll buying and selling takes on someone.
100%. So I'm going to give you five predictions for AI.
Okay.
And what I think we should do for fun is obviously tag this show. Let's revisit this at the end of the year and let's see how well I do.
Okay.
Okay. There's no bet on this. There's no money on this. This is just pure speculation. So here's my five predictions. Okay. Number one, AI will create more luxury buyers than it replaces agents. Okay. Number
Mm.
one. Number two, I think hyper local expertise will become one of the most valuable assets in real estate. Buyers and sellers are going to look for the local, hyper local expertise in the market. That's
And they are going to ask AI, who is that person?
correct.
And you better, not you, Carrie, but whoever's listening better be the
Also,
person that shows up. Yeah,
yep.
you're going to show up
We'll see.
because of
See.
your.
We'll see. Number three is lifestyle is going to outperform square footage as a value driver. So I'm going to watch the price per square foot on homes versus square footage. And with their lifestyle, which home gives the best lifestyle versus a home that doesn't have those attributes. So I'm just going to kind of watch that to see how they perform. So that's my number three. And that's probably more of something that I think's gonna be hard to track, but I'm interested in that. Where am I at? Number four,
No.
the best real estate agents are going to become very small media companies and educators. We are we need to build a brand, right? And AI is going to pick up on the real estate agents that build the best brand, that educate the public, and that have the best media, right? So, that's a scary statement to say, but I do think, again, however you're searching, if you are an agent that is not on social media, you're not on the internet, you're not providing value, you're going to be hard to be found. It just, I think the world's moving too quickly with that. So that's my number 4. Number 5 is more local, so it's Chicago. So I think Chicago is going to continue attracting affluent buyers, because we do remain one of the best luxury value cities in the globe, in the world. I think that should, and I know that's a big statement, but I think at the end of the year, you're going to watch our numbers go up, and you'll see our growth here. I'm thinking we're going to be double digits by the end of the year.
Yeah, those are great predictions. I agree with all of them. I think they're all going to come true. And I really liked the one about that successful agents are really going to turn into their own media companies, because we know that most of us are scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. We're watching a lot of short form video these days, and also going to YouTube when we have questions, right? So YouTube, I always try to remind agents, is not a social platform. It is a search engine. So you can make evergreen content that can live forever on YouTube. And then the day-to-day content kind of comes and goes, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook as well. And we can create content for all those channels and all those distribution arms, and have the content that lives forever on YouTube, always generating leads for us over time, and then having the brand being in everyone's scroll feed, on the other channels. And I think you are absolutely right. If you're not making content and it has to be good content, of course, but if you're not making well, you'll know, because you can see the metrics. If you're not making valuable video in particular content. I was just talking to a top luxury agent in Hollywood, and I was asking her she was on a TV show for 3 years, Selling LA, which I think is like an HGTV show. So anyway, she has got a big social following, even just from that, but she's got a massive social following. And anyway, I was asking her, what is she's doing differently with her social media? And she goes, I've stopped posting any of my accomplishments. She's like, literally all I do is talk about, here's a problem and a solution. Here's a question, here's an answer. She's like, that's all I do now. And she's like, my engagement has spiked because people just want really good content. So for those of us just doing the just listing, just sold stuff, like, do more than that. Like, do really cool, answer questions, talk about lifestyle, things like that.
I love that. I'm gonna take that tip too. And speaking of TV shows, if I can do my little plug.
Yeah.
So NBC5 on Sundays, Open House Chicago. Tune in if you're local here. Again, NBC5 Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Courtney Hall and I taking you through amazing properties here in Chicago.
Well, while you were talking earlier, I went to Claude and asked, who's the best luxury agent in Chicago? Just because, and there is no best. We don't, best is not
we're all great.
Well, I was curious what it would say if I typed in a very non-specific thing and you came right up. Funny enough. So this is why I really recommend everyone follow Carrie on Instagram. Obviously, watch her NBC show too. Follow her on Instagram and on all the social channels. She's on all of them, because there's a reason she shows up here. And part of it is her success and her track record. And the other part of it is the fact that she just has a tremendous amount of content out there. So check her out. It's really, really great content. And I think a great model for how agents should consider doing social media. So Carrie, I think this is a great episode, great place to wrap up.
Yeah.
So everyone follow her, Carrie McCormick Real Estate on Instagram. We'll have a link to her socials there in the show notes. Yeah, AI will be tracking these predictions and seeing if you're right. I think you are accurate with all of them. And on behalf of Carrie and myself, we want to thank the audience for sticking around. Also want to thank Carrie on behalf of the audience and myself coming on every month. She doesn't have time for this. And
I do. I always have time.
You make time for it, but you don't really have time for it. And yet you still make time for us, which really is a huge honor to us. And I get a lot of feedback about these episodes. So we appreciate you. Follow her on Instagram. Thank you to our sponsors. And we will see everybody on the next episode. Thanks, Carrie.
Bye.